What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait, I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome to the breakdown. Quickly get to the sponsors. Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. Title sponsor of the show is Midnight for the breakdown. I say the same thing that I said on Friday. The consensus is that 2026 consensus was owned by Midnight. Shout out to Charles for being out there in the booth and shaking hands with the people, even though they smell like onions. Shout out to Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown and my personal brand. Also, Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet, one of the most secure wallets in our space. If you're looking to hold your Bitcoin or Monero, check out Cake Wallet, amongst others, by the way. But those two, shout those two out. And People's Reserve. Shout out to the People's Reserve. We got Landy waiting in the back. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in from who knows God. Where I don't know where you're tuning in from, but God bless you. Let's bring Landy in here. He's probably gonna ask me questions, but I'm feeling good about the market. Okay, I'm feeling good about the market. It's May go away kind of thing. So I'm kind of cautious as well, but I'm feeling good. Day by day, I'm gonna take it day by day. Okay, I feel good about the market. Okay, I know Landy's gonna come in here and fucking say something that he's gonna try to short the market right now as we speak on the breakdown, but we'll bring him on. Okay, we'll fucking bring him on. Go ahead and hear him out. Okay, we'll fucking hear him out. This little puppet. What's up, puppet? What's going on?
Well, good afternoon, David. It's good to see you.
Is it afternoon?
It is, I am back in the United States, and it is the afternoon where I
Sorry. You said the United States. I have to give the applause. All right. You're back. What's going on, man?
I'm in the belly of the beast right now. So later today or tonight, actually pretty late tonight, I'll be headed back west, but just tired looking at markets. You know, I think that you're right to be cautiously optimistic. as for Bitcoin specifically and the rest of the crypto markets, look, we're seeing movement in the smaller caps, which is what we want to see. Um, we're seeing that Bitcoin has now retested the monthly overhead resistance at 82.5 to 83K that I've talked about for quite some time. And now it's just a matter of, does it break it before a correction um, or not? Uh, over the weekend, we saw that a low was set in a major area between 78 and 80, right at $79,500. So what I'm watching right now is, does that hold up on a closing basis, or do we start to see things head back down in a corrective manner? It's a pretty important week, right? We've got a lot of economic data. We've got Warsh nomination. We have the Trump and Xi meeting as well. And, TradFi is rip into the upside, hitting some of those targets that I've been talking about Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And now it's about, do we see follow through to the upside or continued follow through to the upside? And does Bitcoin break above that monthly level and start to head towards the mid to upper 80s as a possibility? 85 to 86, potentially up to 89 to 90 are fair game above this monthly area at 82.5 to 83. And I would want to see, on any kind of a correction, if we don't see a move above there, I'd want to see Bitcoin to the downside, holding some of the important areas. Stronger area would be consolidation around 78 to 80, and then await resolution of that consolidation if it doesn't push higher from here. Or if it corrects, 74 to 76 is a strong area. Otherwise, I'd be looking right back to 70 to 72 and potentially a dip under to the 68, 69K area, that prior cycle all-time high. That's really right now. I don't think this is a wait and see to position if you are bearish, because right now the bulls have control of the trend. So the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. There's no reason to like jump in front of a freight train, especially in traditional markets. You see a lot of people getting blown out of their shorts because they're trying to jump in front of a blue sky breakout to new all-time highs, which I think is not not a good idea. You wait for the cracks in the trend to form, and then you evaluate from there.
I like seeing the green, but I'm taking it day by day. It's just like,
Mhm.
because tomorrow all of a sudden like the rug gets pulled. Like legit, like that's how I'm thinking. Like the rug gets pulled. But that's also a bad way of thinking too. But it is I'm taking the market as it is. That's it. But I'm happy that like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the energy's back a bit. I feel like some soul in the market. Like there used to, listen, throughout the months where it was really choppy, there were times where the markets would go up and there was no soul to it. Like nobody really
Yeah.
gave a fuck. Now
Yeah, it
it's
was
like
just
people
right
are
back
like,
down.
I see people coming back. Like I've
I
actually seen people coming back.
I think that sentiment is shifting. Look, it's hard for it's gonna. You can't look at traditional markets at specifically Nasdaq and SPY just continuing to push on to new all-time highs. Dow pushing back to or near its all-time high, and then look at everything else and be completely numb to the fact that we are seeing something that is different. But different doesn't mean that the macro bottom is in. We don't have the structure for it right now. So it's just a matter of when the next big correction does come, especially in a weekly time frame for something like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Um, that's where the rubber, I think, is going to hit the road and kind of define how we look at a potential, you know, summertime, spring to summertime lull in markets as to how we kind of um, gauge them for this being a potential macro low scenario, or if we get a sweep, does it hold up, and then we can probably pretty definitively call it a macro low is in. But I don't think we're there yet. I think this is going to take time. I think that one of the more important things, David, I think that we need to pay attention to, and I know that isn't often talked about, is, we have inflation numbers coming out tomorrow. And I think the more important metric that people should be paying attention to is not CPI, but the core CPI numbers. Because what the Fed does and the way that they measure inflation is they cut out the volatility when looking at core, short term volatility. But for now going into, month 2 or month 3 of, potentially heading into month 3 of this conflict, right? In the Middle East with higher floor prices for energy, that begins to seep its way into everything else, right? The higher cost incurred starts to seep its way into everything else. That's we've already seen demand destruction occurring in Europe and Asia. We haven't seen it so much here in the United States, but the way that we would start to see it really setting in would be through the core CPI numbers, not just the CPI numbers directly. So I think it's going to be very important over the coming months to watch that, because that could start to lead to a risk rotation. Look, we're going to get profit taking in traditional markets, and when that occurs, this is where I wanted to see the weekly for Bitcoin close above $80,000. We got that, right? Because now it's about when we do see traditional markets roll risk off, right? And they unwind some of the long side of the trade through profit taking, through unwinding and riding short side down. Where does Bitcoin correct from? Where does Ethereum correct from? Where do the majors correct from? And you want to see good distance off of their last weekly higher lows. And we have pretty good darn distance, not a ton, but we have pretty good distance off of the 60K low and $65,000 higher low. So that becomes the criteria. We had a really beautiful, clean close open last week, right at 78.4, push to the monthly, and then stop right there at 82.5 to 83. So now it's about either getting that continuation higher and correcting from there, or does it correct from here? I would argue, I think that bulls want to see it push a little bit higher before a correction on the weekly, and then we get to gauge from there, because the last weekly higher low is at $65,000, that first high from 2021. And, similar areas for all of the majors, your Ethereums, your Salamis, and everything else, right? So I would be looking at this as something that I talked to you about when we corrected off of 123 to 125. I called it a local high, and I said I will be late purposefully to call it a macro top, right? You might remember that. And I said, because I called the macro top once we broke structure, but I also said that beware of a potential deviation, and a deviation lower low on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin. So breaking below 74.4 gives us a lower low. But because we are in a compression on the monthly and quarterly timeframes for Bitcoin, these are very powerful timeframes, that unless we see continuation to the downside below specific levels, I had mentioned 58 to 60 was one of my main levels. We hit 60. But if we start to get below there and push below like the mid 50s and start closing there on monthlies, then I'd be looking much, much lower. But until or unless that happens, we have to entertain the possibility of a deviation of trend, meaning that because we're in a compression, because we have a high time frame compression at that on a quarterly, that there is room for a deviation of trend on a monthly, and then have the entire bear market just be that deviation of trend, and then come out the other side and start moving on with the rest of the upside in the markets for Bitcoin and crypto. This would also line up with the long form consolidation to potential breakout for the majors for altcoins. That I know that many
Uh-oh.
are very doomer on
Uh-oh.
this, but
Uh-oh.
many are very doomerish on this and looking for very, very low prices.
Can I
I
tell
would
you
need to
can I
see
tell you
confirmation.
something before you start?
Go ahead.
I won't say what I've bought up, but I've bought up a lot of altcoins at like dead ass bottom. Now,
Yeah.
do they pan out? Different story, but I'm talking about I went after ones that if I name them, you'll know them,
Mhm.
and they're at total bottom, like they're assed out.
I've also been taking
That's New
and
York slang,
accumulating.
by the way. Assed
Well,
out.
what I had mentioned to you is below $80,000, I was gonna start my long-term accumulation again. No matter how low it goes, I just ladder my bids in, they get larger the lower the price goes. You know, I did bid for my long-term bag, I did bid $65,000. I bid, below on the way down, below, 65 as well. I was layering bids. That's the start of an accumulation. The next phase would be either to accumulate more lower or to accumulate on, subsequent higher lows. And I've predominantly shifted in the crypto markets, to the long side. And I have no objections to things going lower to continue to shift, further into that long side position. It's right now, I think that we are looking towards this next correction. It's gonna give us wherever that comes from, whether it's here or higher, for something like Bitcoin and the other majors. I'd be looking for this to really define whether or not, um start to paint the picture of whether or not the macro low could potentially be in, and we're in for a consolidation period. Right now, I can tell you that the setup is still a bearish retest. The setup still is pointing towards new lower lows, but that doesn't mean that that is a foregone conclusion. So, I was very bullish on traditional markets off of the larger correction Q1 to Q2 of this year. Obviously the conflict that broke out was the kind of the rundown into the low. Markets there could correct hellaciously and still preserve very bullish structure, for instance. Um, As for Bitcoin and the majors, I would say that Bitcoin's in a much better position than some of the other majors, but I view them as long form consolidations, even if they were to dump out the bottom side here. For Bitcoin, it's all about the next big correction. I think we're going to get a really good idea as to whether or not the 60K could potentially become a macro low area or not.
You think it goes back down to 60?
The 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 only way that I would really be looking for this to play out that way would be, break and close back below, $70,000 on a weekly time frame. I'd start
Can you
looking
see
at
that
that
though?
range.
Can you see
From
that
here,
right now?
yeah. Yeah, I could see the potential for that very easily. And it below 75 or below 70, I could see that, really trying to run the majority of the range down there,
Let me ask you this
65 and under.
question. If you're in the market right now and everything's obviously you're looking at the market and
Mhm.
everything's going up. It's been green for hella days now.
Yeah.
And we know nothing goes up forever, right?
No.
Nothing goes up forever.
No, but
Would you
Bitcoin
be
and
would you be
crypto
taking
can
out
grind.
profits right now?
Huh?
If you're in certain assets right now, right? And even though like I feel like this is the beginning of things, right? Would you take profit out of certain assets?
Well, this depends on what you're asking me. Are you asking me about a trade or are you asking about, long term? Long term holdings,
Not
no.
long term. I'm not
No,
saying long term.
for
What I'm
my
saying is,
trades for my
would
trades,
you
specifically my trades, I am taking profits in these areas. So
okay.
78 to 80, I took some profit. At the monthly, I took some profit. If we break higher, I'm gonna take some more profit. If we start to break structure, I'm gonna close the long side and just await, but that's from a trade perspective. For my longer term holding and laddering in for basically cold storage, I was buying below 65, below 80 and all the way under down to, really started the actual larger part of the accumulation under 65, and I ain't taking profits on that. I'm looking for, if it does go lower, just, keep sizing up. For my trades, though, in these areas, it makes sense to take profits. I've been shaving some profits off my long side. I have longer dated calls in traditional markets. I've been taking profits on the way up as well. I haven't switched to the short side, though. There's no reason to right now.
I tweeted out, this is about Ethereum and Solana. I feel like Ethereum is now an institutional fucking token. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're in Ethereum, congratulations, clap for yourselves. And I think that and the reasons why I want to reference memes, because there's really nothing else being built on top of Ethereum except memes on the retail side, right? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. It's just
There's not a lot of excitement, and they've taken a lot of hits. The
correct.
Aave stuff was a big deal, right?
Correct. So
Um,
I just want
yeah.
to say that I think a few memes will survive on ETH, but ETH is like literally to me an institutional token. That's it. Blockchain, whatever you want to fucking call it. Okay, that it's on an institutional type of thing. I feel
Well,
like Solana
yeah.
will take the meme economy that Ethereum once had, which is crazy. Ethereum should have kept it and acknowledged it. Vitalik, for some reason, just despises memes. Okay, no problem. I think Solana did a hell of a thing. They took the meme economy, or I should say, they took mindshare there, and
Mhm.
it allowed them to build out and get eyes on them in the institutional world. So they'll have the best of both worlds. They'll have the retail buyer, and they'll have the institutional builders that build on Solana. Whatever you guys think about Solana, you can go ahead and think. I don't really care. I'm just talking about they didn't fade the culture. They didn't fade retail culture trading. Like they didn't fade it. They said, okay, we see something there, something that BNB has tried to do. Tron has so many chains. Cardano has tried to do it. Like a lot of chains have tried to take on the meme economy. They just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Solana took it on and got it, and they've built around it. I'm not saying they full on acknowledged everything, but they didn't disrespect it. They understood the mission.
Yeah.
Well, so that my thing is, and people are like, oh well, it's volatile and people can't hold for 3 minutes, and I agree. The broccoli head motherfuckers that are here that play Fortnite, Call of Duty, and all that stuff, right? Yeah, they don't hold for 3 minutes. The whole time is like 26 seconds. I understand that. When Solana goes from 90, what is it, 97 now? When it goes to $400, $500, you're not going to see the volatility that you see today. And you're not going to see the amount of tickers that you see today. I stand on that regardless of pump fund and how easy it is to create a ticker. You're not, or a contract, you're not going to be, you won't see a flood of this shit anymore because nobody's going to want to part ways with their Solana because Solana's at a Solana at 400 is different than one at 95. People, and even now people, I guarantee you people are now thinking twice about parting ways with Solana. It's the same thing that happened with Ethereum. Ethereum was easy to let go of when it was in the 80s and 90s. I remember this. It was easy.
Mhm.
Not me. I don't know if that's a Jewish thing. I don't think it's a Jewish thing, but it wasn't. It was okay for me to, at times, think about using it. But I rather, I was a holder though. People used it though. They didn't. It just. I seen this before. I seen this movie. As reckless as these broccoli heads, no, because you didn't have the contracts out there. You didn't have. You couldn't just ping out and deploy fucking contracts at will. You really needed developers. Now you obviously tech has come so far where bonding curves were created. I know you got 5 minutes, but that's my thought on that. I just wanted to get that fucking out there. This is a
Yeah.
tweet that I put out there. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Last thoughts then, Landy. What happened? What do you think happens tomorrow, market wise?
Oh man. Warsh is up tomorrow, but I think more importantly is going to be inflation, right? And like I said, core inflation is what I'm going to be watching over the next couple of months. And I think this is what's going to be talked about. Yeah, I don't really have too much expectations for tomorrow specifically in terms of outlook. We're pushing for traditional markets some of the highs that I was looking for. Specifically in SPY and Nasdaq. We're making headway to some of the areas that I've spoken about. Um, 740 to 745, potentially even up to 750 and 755 are kind of the main areas that I'm looking for overhead on a grind. But I could easily see a correction back down to the 725 for SPY. Um, if we start to come in with numbers that are not that are indicating that inflation is starting to get sticky on the core CPI side of things. That's where I think things get interesting, for a larger correction in TradFi, or the beginnings of a larger correction, maybe not just right from there. Um, but I there's no sense in getting, like I've said, there's no sense in getting in front of a runaway freight train until we see some structural changes. Like SPY's last higher low for me is at I'm looking at 715. Nasdaq is all the way down at 26,700, 26,900. Sorry. Dow is fairly close, so it is a little bit 49K, and kind of looking more like a consolidation look. But for me, it's about, does when we see a correction, which I do think is sooner rather than later, a correction, and things can correct violently in traditional markets, and structure is still fine. Like, it's still like all opportunity on the long side. Um, but it's about, for crypto markets, if we start to see a risk off move in traditional markets, we will see that same move start to bleed over into crypto. And there's a lot of open interest building up. So I would just be on your toes in and around these very important areas, because all of crypto, all the majors are right up against higher term time frame resistances. So it just pays to be cautious here, if you're on the long side, and just kind of play it by ear as things develop. Look, it's, and I've mentioned this before, just watch oil. As long as
Yeah.
there's, I've mentioned this everywhere I go, and I've said this to you plenty of times now here, is the entirety of the supply chain for energy infrastructure has now begun to normalize in an adjusted pattern that is not concerning the Strait. So if we do see kinetic action, although we might see upside price movement in oil and the floor remaining higher, I think that that would be shorter lived, as long as there is no supply side disruptions. And what do I mean by that specifically? As long as we don't see infrastructure for Saudi Arabia and UAE struck and damaged to the point where it's going to limit supply, then I think that those are shorter term moves. And if we do see some sort of a resolution, that likely opens up the floodgates for downside in oil markets. I highly doubt that we'll ever see some of these insane prices that we've seen out there for oil. It's just not feasible. And Saudi Arabia is one of the major players as to why, um, along with the United States.
Well, thank you for joining today, Landy. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to have you back in the good old United States of America. So,
Well, yeah, good to be back.
and we'll, by the way, are you doing the market recap?
Yes, tonight at 9 p.m. I will have that out.
Guys, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go ahead and check out Landy, break down the markets, and talk shit about the memes. Landy, I hope you have a phenomenal day.
You
little
too, sir.
puppet.
It's good to see
And,
you, David. Have a great day.
We'll talk later. I'll holler at you.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right. Take care, man. That is Landy. That's right. Landy, the puppet. Breaking down the markets. You can go ahead and tune into this episode, by the way, 706. You can go ahead and tune into Landy's market updates at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to address something. We'll be right back, because I have to, because everybody's DMing me and shit, and I'm just want to go ahead and just clear it all out, man. Be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe It was a promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. What's going on? I'm back. All right. Yeah, let me touch on this because I got DMs and text messages, people asking me, yo, Dave. Oh, by the way, episode 706, The Breakdown, sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. Title sponsor. Also, Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet. We got. By the way, we got a lot of people that want to be on this show and also the podcast that's coming. It might be 3 shows. It might be 3 shows that I'll be talking about by the end of the week, but pretty cool. People's Reserve, Poly Market. Shout out to all the sponsors. Okay, I got messages like, "Hey, Dave." So like, let me break this down. This is about crypto. So last cycle, I guess being that it was so, I guess boring. Like I've held my assets for the most part, 80 to 90% of them. I've held them. Hook at me, holla at me for the podcast. Snotty, we might do a podcast. You know, I need to bring on older people, so we might do a podcast. I'm gonna break this down, and it's good that Snotty's here. There are lurkers here anyway. And by the way, I hate the fact that Twitter has this system where they give you 2 options. 1, to comment on what I'm saying, and then 2, to actually be in the live chat. It's stupid because people are just commenting instead of being and participating live. But it's whatever. We got TikTok booming, and we got other places that have more conversation live. Whatever. What the fuck am I talking? Anyway, last cycle, for the most part, I've held 80 to 90% of maybe even more of everything. I've made I pretty much feel like I've made really good calls. I went into the millions, and it's great. But it's not like I called. It's not like that I called everything. Like tickers wise, I played around the same way everybody else played around. PvP is very new to me. PvP is very new to me. And you guys already know. I went in the Rage Guy, the whole beef started. I went into first of all, I went into a lot of these Rage Guy fucking tickers. But then these 2, there's 2 particularly. One I went into first, and they started just fucking downright talking shit about me, saying that they're going to use me for exit liquidity. Got all the fucking messages. a bunch of fucking rats in those chats, right? Like I said. So to me, it's like, yo, I came here to make money. At the end of the day, like you want to make friends and all this stuff, but like you're here to make gains. Like bottom line, you're here to make gains. And then I already talked about this. If you replay the fucking tapes on the breakdown, there's this fucking idiot that comes onto the timeline and he says something about me. I go crazy. I'm like, fuck this. I remember I was driving. I seen it. I said, fuck this. I'm going into this rage guy. So this rage guy, the one I went into, this shit sends to 6.3 million. Currently it's standing at 1.3 million. I gave a thesis that it's going to run with troll, and the shit can happen and will happen. I will not become the memes. And it's one thing that I can acknowledge. I sat back during that time. I will not become the meme. That's it. Like I've never I don't know if I did that with Dogecoin when I called it under a penny. I don't know if I did that with Shiba Inu. I don't know if I did that with Pepe when I got in on day 3. Even though I knew about it on 1, I got in on day 3. So I don't know. Did I become the frog? No, I don't know. You guys who are around when I was throwing up spaces, one of the biggest spaces, like one of the biggest spaces for Dogecoin, one of the biggest spaces for Shiba Inu. Everybody who was here and doesn't pretend to act like they were here knows exactly what went down during those times. Did I become these animals? Did I become these fucking tickers? I don't know. I don't think so. I was having a good time. This PvP shit, I don't give a fuck. Right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, right now, I'm making money on this fucking rage guy shit that's happening. I'm not talking about rage itself. I'm talking about the other one, the shit that all of a sudden came to life. And I know because, apparently a trading group is now in and they're trading it. Yeah, I got those messages. But like to me, again, like I don't want to go into battle. Respect. I love all you guys. But I don't want to go into battle. Like these cats who sent this shit to like 3 million or 3.7 million. I made money by them sending this shit. And I will continue to make, it's rinse and repeat. I will continue to make money on this. I don't want to fight. I'm not going to fight either. I'm not going to go out there and make a call. Like if on both sides, I love you guys. I love you. I'm not doing it. I will not do it. I refuse. Y'all battle it out. It's right now it's KOL. It's a KOL group of KOLs versus a community that this is literally what crypto is now. You have an actual community that has built out for 8 months and they own all the fucking original properties to Rage Guy and Rage Comics. They have it. And now it's versus KOLs. So KOLs have money and they'll trade, but they have no community. These are the motherfuckers. If you've seen what has happened to Spike recently, where it goes up and then it goes all the way down, this is what you're battling. So I'm going to just take advantage of what's in front of me. That's it. And when the time comes, the market will decide who wins. Like bottom line. Like I'm trying to explain this. The market ultimately decides. I'm going to give you an example. Bobo was on Ethereum. Bobo, I started talking about Bobo. I was the first space to talk about Bobo. 500K. Bobo ran, okay? Bobo ran 500K nonstop spaces. Bobo runs to 240. It wasn't me alone, but I took initiative and said, hey, I love Bobo. I talked about Bobo all the time. Bobo goes to 240, man. And Bobo, and I just liked the fucking meme. I fell in love with the fucking meme. There are people that say, oh, he got paid. I didn't get paid shit. I wasn't best friends with Rek. I wasn't best friends with Rek, Takashi. Respectfully, he'll tell you that. I think even Rek came at me during the time in 2021 where I kind of like said something about Asscoin. Y'all can replay the tapes. They're all there, man. Like, but I like the meme. Respect to Rek. This is where it's going. There have been so many attacks on Bobo. So I want you to understand where I'm coming from right now. There have been so many attacks on Bobo. 95,000 vamp attacks. People who have said that they hate Bobo, despise Bobo, all this shit. Bobo's not a real meme. It's not an S tier meme. But guess what? They try to fucking make contracts. Like, they made like 95,000 Bobo contracts even recently, up until recently, come back to mainnet bullshit. Like, they made a Bobo. And what happened? Bobo's at $22 million right now with the move and the migration to Solana because Rect has been deving this project for years, not getting any fucking revenue in because you can't do it on Ethereum. The creator fees are just not there. He lost like fucking $5 to $7 to $10 million, which he could have reinvested into the project. And he also didn't have any control of it either. You had a bunch of fucking animals trading the chart. They just trade the motherfucking chart on Bobo. They wouldn't let it go up. They just would not let it. Why is Bobo sending? Because there's a community that is insane. I'm part of that community. We're not letting go. Yeah, I'm sure there will come a day we will scale out respectfully, but we're not letting go. Look, with the fucking migration, we could have sold. We could have been out. No, like most people, I would say like 95% of the fucking Bobo bros have not even thought about doing it. You guys are talking about $1 Bobo. Rekt Takashi's talking about $80 Bobo. $80.80, like that. And people are like, yes. My point is, you can beat community. Like I'm gonna tell you like this. If I created a Bobo contract right now, I wouldn't be able to beat the current, I couldn't be able to overtake Rekt Takashi's Bobo. Like it would be impossible. Even if I just took all my money and laid into it, all that I would do is waste my money. I'd waste my money. That would be like me trying to convert New York Knicks fans to being Brooklyn Net fans. It's not gonna happen. It's not happening. So again, who am I going to bet on? And who have I always bet on? It's been community. I've always bet on community. Like I'll invest into both, triple now, because this is the way the game is played, I guess. Like with Wojak, the Wojak situation. Look, people are like, yo, you know which one is the real Wojak? Great. In my head, I probably do, but guess what? I'm in both Wojaks. And I got in early on both Wojak. Wojak on Ethereum and Wojak on Solana. I'm in early. I'm in early on both. And I'm just sitting back, go for it. Whoever wins, wins. You can't be mad at me for saying like, hey, but I know who will win. It will be the one with the community. It will be the one that has a community that comes together and says, you know what? This is it. Or the ones that have a community already built. You cannot fuck with a community. I'm telling you, you cannot. It might not have. Look, with Bobo, I'm gonna use Bobo as the example today. Bobo has been holding, the community has been holding for fucking 3 years. They could have left at any time and took their losses and went elsewhere. They held. Do you understand how insane that is? They held. You don't know if Bobo's ever coming back, but they held. This is real talk right now. You don't know if the asset, it will ever go back to all-time highs. They held. They did not move. I held. I didn't move. I even have a bag of Bobo that's from Ethereum that I never migrated because I'm keeping it as a souvenir. And I don't know if anybody else has done that. I have a bag of Bobo that I have not touched because I'm keeping it as a souvenir. That's my mindset. Imagine the degen mindset. So when people ask me about Rage, what about Rage Comics? What about Rage Guy? By the way, nobody wants to go on a space with me and talk about meme and memetics of memes. I'm talking about the people that talk about they know memes and all this stuff. They don't want to go on spaces with me. I'm not talking about people, whether I like them or not, that I've hung out with in the past. I'm not talking about those people. There are people out here that actually talk about like they know memes, but they won't go into space to debate the memes and meme fucking memetics and culture. They won't dare to do that. They won't dare to do that. I will run circles and we will get into blockchain. We will talk about when you got into Bitcoin, Ethereum, fucking XRP, all these things we will talk about. But you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. I knew, you know, Troll. Troll is big in Coney Island. Let me explain something to you guys. If you guys have ever been to New York, but if you guys have ever been to Brooklyn, and I'm talking about Coney Island, you will know that Troll is big in Coney Island. I've been on game on Troll since I was 5, 6, right in the fucking cyclone, okay? Nobody got to tell me about Troll. This cycle, I just don't feel like going out there and just saying anything. Like, I'm enjoying you guys working for my bags. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want clout. I don't want anything. I'm not seeking that. I did come out and say it like, yo, I might just call one last thing. Just one last thing and let the shit fucking send. I said I might do it. But that's egotistical shit, bro. That's some ego shit. It's not even for the money. I just want to see. Rage is gonna, yo, Rage. It comes down to, I'm only addressing it because this is the 8 to 12 month shit that I was a part of, that it was the first time that I unleashed on the timeline and all that stuff. I will bet on the community. That's it. Whatever happens, win, lose, or draw, I've already made a lot of money in the last fucking 24 hours on Rage Guy. With them sending that shit artificially. I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Rinse and repeat. That was me going in and out, and that's fine. That's trading. I'm allowed to do it. There's nothing wrong with that either. But I'm just going to sit back and wait and see what happens. That's it. That's it. I'm going to just sit back and wait and see what happens. Bottom line. Welcome to... What is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? How's a guy going to come in here and say my face is off? Like, how, is that, by the way, is that... Snotty, am I wrong on that? Like, a dude comes in here and says your face is off. Like, what? What? Are you trying to get? You trying to go out with me or something, bro? Like, what? I can't. This space has the worst type of people. It's like AIDS. Okay, it's like AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis, like all mixed in. Voted the most handsome fella in crypto. Bro, like, I have literally been voted the most handsome dude in crypto. Like, you line me up, I'm like, you are lucky to have a representative in crypto that looks like me. Young, real beard, Botox. No, this is the point. This is natural. This is me. I don't shoot shit in my face. I don't take a hammer to my face and smack myself. No, I don't do these things. And look, I know a lot of people are going to be upset with this answer. I know people want me to, go out there and talk. I'm not that guy no more. That's it. I'm not that guy. I did that. Snotty, I've done. Look, you know what? Snotty and Chef, right? I'm gonna support their project. You know why? Because they support me. Like, here's the thing: if you support me, I'm gonna support you. Besides that, the way they go after it, the way every single day they are on the timeline, they are talking non-fucking stop. Non-stop. And Snotty's older than me. He's fucking 60. Okay, Snotty Napkins is fucking 60 years old. He is fucking working for his bags, okay? Snotty is 60 years old, man. And he is working for his fucking bags. Anyway, I just want to say congratulations to Bobo, by the way. Bobo is absolutely... You know what? You know what I wish would happen? I wish that Apu, and I know Apu might give me pushback on this, but I wish Apu would migrate to Solana the same way that Bobo did. Because I think if that were to happen, I think Apu would have more control. Because Apu was a CTO. But and they saved it because some fucking animal decided to fucking destroy it or try to destroy it. And here comes, some really good people to fucking save it. I think if they moved to Solana the same way that Bobo did, I think it would be a major benefit. Again, I'm just thinking out loud. You imagine all the real OGs? I mean, Shroom deserves it. If Shroom moved it over to, listen, and the team decides to move it over, it would be I think it would be a hell of a thing. I think it would be a hell of a thing. People are always telling me, hey, they've posted on the timeline. Go on the timeline and make the post about which. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Yeah, Snotty, honestly, I think Apu being on Solana, it would take it away from, listen, Pepe's there, right? Let Pepe have Ethereum. Let the Apu frog be on Solana. It would dominate. It would literally dominate. Everybody, for the most part, everybody who tunes into the show is autistic. The autism on Solana is through the roof. Through the roof. Anyway, we'll be back right after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together. But first,
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy to use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Some people ask me, why am I not in the suit today? Let me tell you the truth. Okay, I worked out really hard. I trained really hard, and I'm sore today. Like, I am really fucking sore, and there's no way that I can be in a fucking suit. I looked at the suits. I looked at my suits, and I was like, there's no fucking way. I literally, as you know, if you ever watch Batman, like Christian Bale looks at the Batman suit, that's the way I look. And even you could say even Ben Affleck, when he looked at the Batman suit, it's just like I looked at my suits in the same way, and I was like, there's no possible fucking way I'm putting on a suit today. Like, zero fucking way. Like, I can't, I wouldn't be able to put the jacket on. Like, I'm fucking sore. Worked arms, shoulders, chest, like fucking everything. The only thing I didn't work were the fingers and I am fucking sore. Anyway, relax. Relax. I know a lot of you Diddy motherfuckers are in here. Relax. Okay? Relax. Welcome back to The Breakdown, episode 706. This is 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little bit late today, but that's only because, again, 2 days are fucking insane. Okay? That's it. By the way, happy Mother's Day. Belated happy Mother's Day to all the women in the space. Okay? Happy Mother's Day to all the women in the space. God bless you guys. God bless you. Well, I don't even know. Because some of you guys, should I even say it, man? I don't, hold back. Hold back, Dave. Hold back. You know how I feel about the 90% of the dudes here. Like, we should not be encouraging them to have any sorts of kids here, okay? We should not be encouraging anybody, any of these people in crypto to have kids. Like, we should be encouraging people to take Plan B, okay? And using protection. Not developing more fucking monsters that will fucking sell on the charts for $3. Okay, like we need to do better here. You imagine more offspring of these fucking crackheads that go, like, you go into a play and you're surrounded by these crackheads that sell for Happy Meals? We need more of this? This is a problem. This is like an infant Hold on. Yeah, I really need to get a cup. Man, me drinking out of a bottle is like, I'm homeless behavior, bro. I don't know. It's homeless behavior when you drink out of a bottle like this. I look homeless, like straight up. And people think this is like a bottle of fucking Heineken. Like, people think it's a Heineken bottle, not realizing it's water, right? By the way, Mountain Valley should be sponsoring me with the amount of times that I drink from the actual bottle, okay? That's a bad habit. I gotta say right now, I know that, like, I have a bad habit of drinking out the bottle. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, fuck, this is so bad. Here I am sitting in a suit, hygiene's off the point, right? Like I look great. And here's a guy drinking, and then I take the bottle and I drink it, in a suit. I drink from a bottle. Like it's like, come on, is this homeless behavior, bro? I even say it to I swear to God, I even say it when I replay some of the shows. I'm like, David, homeless behavior, bro. Like just use this. You fucking use it. I put my protein shakes and all this fucking collagen shit in here. You just use it. Nah, it's not even that. Even if I was sponsored by this, I should be like, hey guys, let's take, like you do the ad break. Hey, I'm going to pour some water into this and I said that troll is this, I got into troll, especially when troll went backwards. When troll went backwards, I said, you know what, here, I'm gonna slingshot money in. I'm taking my chance here. So I go into troll, but when troll is almost bottomed out, I'm in troll. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I might lose money here. The only thing that I thought of was, I didn't think about anybody calling it either. I was like, okay, you got that guy's Shadow there. He's talking about it. Shout out to, I don't, honestly, all this hatred about who's calling what, this, that, and the third. You guys are so fucking pathetic, man. Who gives a fuck? Who cares who calls it? What? If you're in something, why do you care who called it? Oh, he called it. Hate him. Like, why? I'm sitting back like, y'all keep calling shit. Make me money. Make me money. Like, I'm not offended. Go make me money. And respectfully, I don't mean that as like somebody's my bitch. I'm just saying, go make me money. You can have the clout. I've been there 3 cycles. I've done my thing. Like, I don't need it. I can sit back. I can watch. I can just sit back and watch. The fuck? What? You guys are like battling. Oh, he said he called it and he called it, but he called it and she called it. You motherfuckers need therapy. Who cares? Some people, see, here's the difference with people that have actually done things, right? I don't need to go out here all the time and tell you that I've called something. Like if you are around for 2016, you know that I've been talking about fucking Dogecoin forever. I don't need to tell you. I was on Fox Business multiple times. I'm in the papers before anybody else talking about memes. Why do I need to go ahead and tell you, hey guys, listen, I called this, that? I don't need to. It's kind of like, yo, I had my run. I had my time. Like I had my time of calling. I had 3 cycles of calling. I've called things into millions and billions. Like I've had my time. Like now my time is like, I want to wear flip-flops and watch everybody do it. That's it. Like I'm still in all these plays that everybody's talking about. Great. Just do it. I've realized this. You know when I realized it? I'll go back to Rage. I realized it during Rage and Bobo. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter if I send it to millions. People are like, all this hate, all this hatred. I'll still talk about Bobo though, because I still will smack your ass about Bobo, 100%. But all this hatred, all this bullshit, like, man, call it. I'm in everything. Everything you think I'm not in, I'm in. And like, you can say whatever you want. I know reality. And once I'm off of this, I'm just, sometimes I don't even want to thank my biggest haters for putting me on. Let's go a little step further there. Sometimes I just want to hug them and say, thank you. Thank you. The whole Rage situation, though, I say this one more time. By the way, shout out to Bobo. I think Bobo's going to fucking billions, 100%. See, the Bobo community, again, is talking about $1. Meanwhile, Rek Takashi is on like some $8 billion, $10 billion journey. So I'm all with it. I'm with it, fam. I am with it. I'm with it. As for rage, the best rage will win. That's it. The market will decide which rage goes. Like, that's it. And I say that respectfully. I think the rage that goes is the one that has a community. Some people will say it's the one that has KOLs. I'm not going to argue about this anymore. It's like talking to the fucking wall, right? There used to be a time where we honored communities. Now there is no honor. Please don't talk about honor. There is none. There's zero. There's zero honor. It's PvP. That's it. Either the KOL, I'm going to say this one more last time. Either the KOLs will win, which they have a hard battle because they start off fast. It's like they'll start off fast, but now you're asking a KOL to hold. KOLs trade. They don't know how to hold. They need money. They have to pay rent. Okay? Communities, they hold because they believe in it. They believe. Like, I believe this is the best water on the planet. Like, you see this water? I believe Mountain Valley spring water is the best water on the planet. I'm going to be loyal to this bottle. I'm going to be loyal to that son of a bitch. Okay? That's the way a community I am loyal. I'm loyal to this bottle. That's why I've never, ever have gone against the community. Like, you can't. There's only out of my all these decade plus years I've been here in this space, the one time that I didn't go ahead and put money into a project at a principle, I should have, because the community was insane. Like, and they're still insane till this day because they actually think they're going to come back and they never will. That insanity, I could have made, y'all already know, $2 to $3 million easy. And I didn't because principle. It was principle. That's what it came down to, straight up principle. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back to episode 706, sponsored by Midnight title sponsor of this program. Also, shout out to Polymarket, my official prediction market sponsor of this show in the DG brand. Also, Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet, one of the most secure wallets in our industry. You want to hold your Bitcoin in a secure wallet. You want to hold your Monero in a secure wallet. And there's not a lot of Monero wallets, but if you want to hold Monero, there is one wallet to hold it in, and that's Cake Wallet. By the way, that wasn't a script. That's me just telling you honestly, like, yo, that's the wallet that you hold your shit in. People's Reserve, shout out to the People's Reserve for giving people an option to go ahead and use their Bitcoin as collateral to go get themselves a home, man. We're back. I just feel like talking about crypto today. Like, I really feel like talking about crypto today. There are a lot of things that I've gone into, things that I like, things that personally, I consider snotty and chef friends. So I've gone into things that I boys club meta. Who is talking about the boys club meta? Go ahead and rewind the tapes. Go ahead and look at the tweets. I said the boys club meta would be huge. And what happened? People are back to the boys club meta. I talked about Tron, right? Not Tron, Troll. So I think Troll could be the meme that helps send, again, and people will think that I'm taking a shot at Pepe. I hold Pepe. This is not a shot at Pepe. I think it's what I said before. I said this. I said, who's going to be the next Pepe? Kind of like the same way I said, who's going to be the next Dogecoin or Shiba Inu? During those times, like who's going to come next and propel the markets, right? And you have Troll. You really do have Troll, and it could pull a move like Shiba Inu. Like, I'm not comparing any of. You see, a lot of you guys say, "Oh, this shit is dog shit." None of this stuff is dog shit. I just want to let you guys know. Doge had a purpose. Doge was created so Shiba can run. Shiba was created so Pepe can run, and now Pepe was created so Troll can run. Like, guys, all these things could run together. You can be in all of them, and you don't need to be a fucking. This ain't a sporting event. Like, you guys are treating this shit like it's straight up sports. Like, I can't root for that, man. Like, because I mean, shut up. You came here for money and you're rooting. Like, you hope this one goes down. You hope this one doesn't make it. You're like, what the fuck? What do you? This ain't fucking Fortnite. I know some of you guys played this whole thing like Fortnite, but for those who have been here for a while acting like children, yo, get in everything. Okay, so you're not the top 50 holder, you're the top 1,000 holder. You'll still make money. Oh, I didn't get it to Troll at fucking 500K. So what? Like I always said, I used to get into things at 5 million, 10 million, bro. Like, who gives a fuck? If you think it's going to billions, who cares if you get in at 5 or 10 or even 142 million? Like, if it runs from 142 to 1 billion, do you really give a fuck? No, you made money. You made a profit. Congratulations, Mazel Tov. A single tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila is Hava Nagila. Troll on ETH? No, Troll on Soul. Okay, I don't know where your ETH comes from. Troll got the IP, right? Troll got the IP rights. Shout out to Troll. And guess where Troll was made from? Rage Comics. And guess the Rage, this Rage here. Well, I should share the screen. This Rage. Let's share the screen. Let's share the screen. Hold on. Oh my God, they got baby. There's the FOMO app on desktop. This Troll. Excuse me, this Rage, excuse me. I said this. Rage will run off. This Rage here at 1.4 million? See, like let me explain something. When Troll was presented to everybody at 500K from Shadow, because Shadow made a post, I'm going based off what Shadow said. Y'all faded it, right? 1.4 million. I'm just saying, 1.4 million. 1.4 million. Why can't I fucking hover up, man? Why can't I hover up? Anyway, 1.4 million is a great entry. Right? You decide. I like the whole narrative, community versus KOLs. I can't stand KOLs. I hate influencers and I hate KOLs. So you know who I'm fucking rooting for. 100%. Even though I'm in both, make no doubts about that. I'm in both because I want to make sure I make as much money as possible on the KOL side in terms of those KOLs in there. You know, it's funny. I know like they're all watching too. They hate me. Oh, they despise me. They can't stand my ass. Can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you a secret? Being here for the amount of years that I've been here, at some point, you don't care. I don't care. Why would I care? If you don't like me or you like me. I don't care either way. If you like me or you don't like me, I don't care. My job every day is to report on the markets. Here I did. I reported on the markets. They're going green. I'm taking it day by day. I'm loving the atmosphere. For the most part, we're starting to appreciate the real memes and the real meme culture. I like what Crash is doing. A lot of you guys don't want to acknowledge what Crash is doing. That's fine. I can acknowledge what he's doing. I like seeing Crash out there, bull posting. Nice to fucking watch. Nice to watch. It's good. And especially when he's talking about real memes. Like, it's good. It's good and healthy. It's fucking healthy. You guys didn't get tired of fucking running around like a chicken with his head cut off, chasing this dog shit? Like, at what point did you finally at some point say, you know, I give up? Send Flork. Why don't you send Flork? Like, have you not listened to the entire program? I am sitting back. I have no problem putting 100 grand into something. I will put 100 grand into something. I have no problem doing that. I'm not going to be the spokesperson. Headless chicken, bro. Okay, that's you. TikTok saying, why is he on his rant? I'm not even on a rant. This is a monologue. Or like, this is just me speaking out loud. Not on no rant. Homeless people fight over a fucking quarter. I'm not homeless. I'm only homeless when I go ahead and drink out the bottle. Like, that's when I'm homeless, man. I said headless chicken. Well, I said that shit. I'll replay it. My bad. A chicken with his head's cut off. Whatever. Fuck. Bengal tiger fucking correcting me every 5 minutes. I seem irritated. I'm fucking laughing inside. I'm okay. I was born with a resting bitch face. I just want you to okay, let's clear the air here, guys. Let's clear it for Kev Don, whatever his fucking name is. Kev Don. I was born with a condition called RBF, okay? I was born, I'm gonna say it again. I was born with a condition called RBF. Okay? And that stands for resting bitch face. There is nothing I can do about it. There is absolutely nothing I can do. I've seen doctors. They said there is nothing they can do for this condition. Okay? Zero. My eyebrows, they move, and I express myself with eyebrows. Like, you see, if you watch me, my eyebrows are, you get it. You get it. This dude saying Botox. I've never got, bro, on God, I've never had Botox done. Like, zero. I will grow old naturally. I don't need to look like somebody who can't fucking smile. I was born though with an RBF. So it is hard for us, New Yorkers especially. I think it's a New York thing. It's hard for somebody who's a New Yorker, also somebody who has Eastern European DNA flowing through these veins. It's hard for us to, we don't fake laugh. We don't fake smile. There's no reason to fake laugh or smile. You laugh when something's funny. When something's not funny, you don't laugh. It's very simple. If you want to know my routine though, if you want to know why I look so fresh and young, I have no problem doing a men's health episode on how is DG still rocking black hair, a black beard. We can do all this stuff. Ah, look, I knew Snotty was European somehow. Which, you're from the Baltic, so you must, what, Lithuania, Estonia, or Latvia? Which one? Which one of the three? I would say you're fucking probably from Latvia or some shit, bro. Like, I'm going with Latvia. I know the map. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the map. You guys already know if you tune in, I'm royalty. I'm related. Okay, I'm related to King Bela III. Siberian, bro. Okay. That's crazy. You know, I always thought I was adopted, honestly speaking. I always thought I was adopted. I'm fucking around, bro. Like, yo, Snotty, you guys really do not understand sarcasm. Like, I'll say something, you guys like literally get upset. Oh my God. Nah, you notice I have a huge family, and my cousins used to tell me that I was adopted because I didn't look, I legit here, like if I should show my pictures when I was young. I should show my pictures just like, yo, like he is like the black sheep in the family. I got everybody, yo, fuck this shit. Let's talk about this. This is fucking personal. You know what's fucked up? Every single person in my family has blue eyes. Blue eyes. Like blue, gray, like blue eyes, gray eyes. Like, I don't know what, like straight up some weird ass blue type of vampire eyes. Okay? I get the green eyes. I get the fucking green eyes. Everybody gets the blue eyes. I get the fucking green eyes. I wanted blue eyes so badly, man. Growing up and your whole fam, all your fam got blue eyes. And you like literally everybody got blue eyes except me. And in the summertime, my eyes become really green. And then people are like, yo, you know, only the devil got green eyes. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Every movie I watch with motherfuckers with blue eyes, it's some vampire shit, man. What the fuck you talking about? Fucking zombies and shit. Fam got red hair, got fucking red hair, or fucking blonde hair. For the most part, though, most of them got black hair. So you see like the pure blackness, like, yeah. That's crazy business, bro. Like, really, it is crazy fucking business. And it's like, I got a bunch of blondes in the family with blue eyes, man. Like, it's crazy. I'm telling you, man. I have a feeling I was adopted, bro. I was definitely adopted. I was definitely adopted. Definitely adopted. Anyway, it is 2:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The markets, back to the markets. I don't know where this went. Why you guys took me to the we're talking about how I look. Today's episode, hour 2 has been nothing but how, about my appearance, okay, and how I look. You have somebody here who thinks that I actually, I swear to God, I would never, ever, ever. First of all, I hate needles. Okay. So I would never stab myself in the face with a needle and put any of that toxic shit into my face. Respectfully, if you girls and guys love putting Botox in your face, go for it. And fillers and all this shit, go for it, man. But nah. Bro, I don't. Like, you keep trolling me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't. Like, this is what it's natural, okay? Natural look, natural fucking face, okay? Natural. You're not supposed to be doing that shit with a fuck, right? You're not supposed to be doing any of this shit, right? Right? Look. No, nothing. See, the people that do Botox are in this goddamn room right now. They're watching this goddamn show. They know. Look how I'm moving my face. They would never do that, man. They would never do that. Never. I don't got the crow's eye. Bro, you know what I'm happy about? I don't have the crow's eye or the crow's feet, whatever that shit's fucking called. The crow's feet, don't got that shit. No wrinkles here. Anyway, talking about the markets, back to the markets, and not about my appearance, because obviously everybody knows, best looking, best dressed. I mean, like, everything best within the financial space. Fuck just crypto, just traditional finance, digital asset, whatever. You know what time it is? You know what time it is. By the way, I don't think men. So I was watching, before we move on, like, men are getting plastic surgery done, right? You've seen, what's his name? Bradley Cooper, right? They were talking about him. I was scrolling through our feeds here, and you know how you doom scroll, and there's this plastic surgeon, and he's like, so basically, you have dudes going to plastic surgeons that are getting their face done, but the plastic surgeons are like, they're so fucking used to, like, when you do plastic surgery on a woman, you can't make a woman masculine, right? That's what he said. You can't make a woman masculine when you perform plastic surgery. They already have feminine features. All you're doing is, I guess, you're doing some tightening and you're injecting whatever. When men are getting these things done to themselves, they're getting this, like, so he made a good point. They're getting the hood of they're getting this part cut off or like pushed back. So, like, if you look at Bradley Cooper, he's like this, right? Like, he used to have like this, like, he used to look like a man, right? Now now it's like this, right? Like, right? Like that's weird shit, bro. Men should appreciate getting older, and you should appreciate wearing your scars and everything. Like, you should appreciate it. Like a Viking. appreciate it. You went through battles and you're aging, and men age better than women. Like that is a fact. Men age better than women. So why are you going to the plastic surgeon? Why? Anyway, shut up, Snotty. You're 61 years old, man. What the fuck you talking about? You're 61 years old. You fucking drink Ensure before you go to fucking bed. And you wear Depends diapers. I think also the crypto crowd is getting bullish, or the crypto industry is getting bullish, because the Clarity Act seems like it's going to be passed sometime in the summertime. So that's pretty cool, right? That's cool as hell. So maybe we're having this run up because of that. We're having this run because of that. And it's nice to see. It's just fucking nice to finally, like, I don't know how long the green days are gonna last, but let's enjoy them, okay? Let's sing Kumbaya together. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Like, let's fucking sing together and enjoy this industry together, because as I've been saying, the institutions will come and they're going to lock it down. They're going to take all this shit that you love and it's over. So if you're not front running, which I've been saying for months, if not years, if you're not front running the institutional players, you're fucked. You're going to be selling Costco hot dogs, okay? Why don't you listen to me? You're going to be selling Costco hot dogs or $1 pizza at a fair if you don't front run the banks. You guys are celebrating with Chase and JP Morgan and shit. You'll all be working as a teller for $17 an hour if you don't listen up. And then you won't be able to afford to do Botox. And you're ugly, so you can't, like, the Botox don't even work, man. Like, I don't know. Botox don't even fucking work. Ugly as hell, man. Ugly as hell. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break. We'll come back with a quote of the day right after this.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. To end this show, I just want to say that if I really wanted to, if I really, really wanted to call something, I could. Let's talk about, before we go, let's talk about calling and motion. Let's talk about motion because people talk about motion. Motion isn't that difficult. Okay. I've been around way too long. I know how this game works. I see it, I say nothing. I do my own thing, bro. I get into projects, I sit back, I watch. Motion is very easy. And a lot of people here, they have these little groups of 20. And then there's the one frontman. And they push money into a chart. And the person goes ahead and says, hey, I call this. There are a few people that don't do it that way. You already know who the people are. But there are other people that do it that way. And that's your motion. Anybody here, money in general makes motion. That's it. And there's nothing that I said there that isn't untrue. Like it is true, 100% fact. Money can give you an enormous amount of motion. If hypothetically right now, if I took 100 grand and I put it into Rage right now, ticker Rage. If I put it into Rage, if I took 100 grand and put it into Rage, what do you think would happen? Right answers only. What would happen if I did that? You would see it absolutely candle, right? I buy as much as I want, right? It's free market. I can buy I want to buy 100 grand. Boom. I'm buying 100 grand. Obviously, the slippage on that shit would be crazy, but I'm just saying in general, if I wanted to, I could. And then you see candle up on candles and candles and candles. And then everybody will say I have motion, but it's really I have money. It's not I have motion. Well, money leads to having motion. That's all I'm saying. It's like me being your Jewish landlord. Like, I have motion if you don't pay me. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Let's go ahead and smack you with the quote of the day. Quote of the day. I don't know if I don't even want to say that. I want to do some inspirational shit. Yo, my body is fucking hurting. I gotta say, my body, the fucking two of the. Sorry, I had a comment on something. Okay, here we go. Let me find this quote of the day. By the way, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I really do. I love you guys. Listen, for the years upon years that people have been tuning into the show, thank you so much. You've elevated me. You've allowed my platform to grow. And for the new people that tune in, thank you so much. I appreciate you. TikTok, I appreciate you. Wasn't able to look at the TikTok channel today, but I know friends probably there. Shout out to Tech. Shout out to everybody there. Thank you very much for allowing me into your households. I appreciate that. We go higher. There's a lot of things that I've been working on. We go much higher. I'm excited. And these things take like months to actually, even though you sign it, they take months to go ahead and actually be executed. So you'll see soon. I think it's September or November, some shit like that, that I can probably definitely announce the news. But let me go ahead and look for a quote here. Stay obsessive. By the way, this is the quote of the day. Stay obsessed with your own potential because your future self is begging you to do better. So let's do that. Stay obsessed with your own potential because your future is begging for you to do that and to do better. Guys, shout out to the sponsors. Without the sponsors, there wouldn't be a show, right? It wouldn't be a show. I don't have any paid groups. I don't have, well, I do have a sub. You can subscribe to me on X. But other than that, like I don't have a paid group. I don't do none of that shit. So might happen one day. Might have a DG Academy. Shout out to Snotty. Shout out to Bangle. Shout out to everybody who participated. I hope all your assets go parabolic. And guys, just go fucking win. Stop bitching. Anyway, I'm out.